Welcome to Kid Missing TV. I'm your host, Angelina Wilson. This is the case of the Webster, Massachusetts John Doe. You will see where he was found right here. The red star. And you can see that you have Douglas, Dudley, Oxford, Sutton, and Connecticut. All within a 5 to 6 mile range. So he could be from any of those places. He had $40,000 to $50,000 worth of dental work, red hair, hazel eyes, extra large clothing with a shirt of a 46-48 and pants are 42-44. Died of natural causes. He was 5'10", 210 pounds. Please look at the map. Now, Webster is a fairly poor town. Although it is smaller in land area than Douglas, where I live, it is much more densely populated. So it has 16,000, a little over 16,000 people. I think I wrote down the actual number. Roughly 16,000. And within 5 or 6 miles in any direction are the towns of Sutton, Dudley, Douglas, Oxford, as I showed you in the map. And the state of Connecticut. So, all within 5 or 6 miles. No, between 4 to 6 miles. So, he wore a green tan flannel shirt, white crew socks, blue and black tube socks, a pair of brown leather Docksider brand boat shoes, size 10.5 double E, meaning they were wide. Found near him was a blue hooded sweatshirt, size extra large, a rugged wear flannel and polyester jacket, size extra large, a red knit winter hat, now, Webster is, like I said, it's a town that's, most of the people are not very well off. It's known for Lake Manchunga Bunga 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 Bunga. And I'm not even kidding, that is the name. There's a store by that name, a convenience store not far from Indian Ranch, which is another thing it's known for, an outdoor country music venue on the lake. That lake is so busy in the summertime, especially when there's music playing at Indian Ranch. So people come from all over the place to go to Indian Ranch. I mean, he wasn't at Indian Ranch in, New Year's Eve, obviously. But given where he was found, he could be from anywhere. Now, I'm going to give you the direction each of these places are from him, from where his remains were found. Oxford is immediately north. Sutton is north-northeast. Literally, the road off of which he was found is Sutton Road, because it led directly into Sutton, which was only 4 miles away. It's the closest town. Douglas, northwest. Dudley, west-southwest, and Thompson, Connecticut, several miles to the south. It's only 5 to 6 square miles, the whole town. Now, Douglas is bigger, okay, but we have less people. We're less densely populated. Webster was also a place, if you lived in Douglas, Oxford, you would go there to go shopping because they have grocery stores. They have a big plaza where they had grocery stores. They had Fashion Bug, which was a clothing store. They had a Kmart, all sorts of stuff there. That's where my credit union is from, Webster. And Sutton Road and East Main Street are part of Route 16. Route 16 is also Main Street in Douglas. And because Route 395 is right down the road, you get on it in Webster, he could be from virtually anywhere. They believe that when the Reconstruction came out, someone would have recognized him had he been from Webster. As mentioned, he wasn't found in downtown Webster. He was actually found a mile and a half into the woods. The fact that he was dressed for the season and had all that dental work, and I don't know, I think he might have been a hunter that had a heart attack. I still think someone came along and found him before it was reported that he had been found, which he was found by hunters. Around here, that's not really a surprise. It's really not. But I think someone found him before that and stole his weapon, his wallet. That's just my opinion. Took the weapon, the wallet off the body. It's my, not really opinion. Well, it is an opinion, but theory. That's the word. It's my theory of the case. That he had passed away and somebody found him, took his weapon, took his wallet, and left him unidentified. Chances are, if you're out in the woods and you're dressed for the season, you're layered up, and you're hunting, you're probably going to have your hunting license on you. Which would, of course, identify you. So, yeah. I think whoever did that, if that is, in fact, the case, because we didn't see there were no signs in anything that I've read about this case that there was a tent and he was living out there or some area where he slept or anything like that. That's what brings me back to hunting. Hunting season starts in November. He hadn't been there very long. Like I said, around here, a hunter finding him like they did wouldn't be uncommon because hunting is, we live in a rural area, so hunting is part of life here. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's part of our lives. You know, I knew people who would come over with a big old deer in their trunk because they'd gone hunting, you know, and been successful. My uncle was a hunter, was an avid hunter. He used to come and visit me when he'd be leaving at the end of the day. From the hunt. And he would bring my dad deer meat, and I mean, that was just, like I said, it was a part of life here. So I don't doubt that this man was a hunter at all. Right here in our woods, they hunt. They used to hunt in Manchog in the woods, where I'm from, which is the next town over. And so we would hear the gunshots going off all through the fall, from November and part of December. You would hear it. It was, like I said, it was something I don't like, but it's part of life, and I do understand that, and I respect that. And I know a lot of people that I love very much who were hunters, avid hunters. That wasn't something my father would have ever done. Or my Uncle David, for that matter. Neither one of them were... My father couldn't have harmed an animal. I think my Uncle David could have either, but I know my father couldn't have harmed an animal. He could not have pointed a weapon at an animal. He just couldn't have done it. I don't know that my father's ever handled a weapon, actually. My mother, on the other hand, knew how to shoot a gun. She was taught growing up in the backwoods of Maine. But anyway, I do believe this man was a hunter. I do believe that I think his stuff got stolen, and that's why he's unidentified. I hope that they can do some genealogy and get him identified, because he's the only unidentified in this whole area, you know? And I wanted to do this because I had this beautiful map, and I wanted to share it with you. Yeah, Gore Road is very well known. It's one of the main roads, and it's right there, Upper and Lower Gore Road. But thank you. You know, his area, the area he was found, is right off those two roads, which literally lead from Oxford to Dudley. So, but Dudley's even smaller than Webster. So, if he was from Dudley and anybody saw him, he would have been identified as well. But we didn't get pictures of him here in Douglas. You know, there should have been posters hanging around Douglas, Sutton, you know, Oxford, Dudley, all of those towns, Thompson, Connecticut. Even Rhode Island, because Rhode Island is right there. If you look over here on the map, down in the corner there, you can see how close Rhode Island is. Rhode Island is this rectangle right here. Get out of here. Is this rectangle right here where my fingernail is. So. Yeah. But I wanted to be able to show you that map, be able to tell you about Webster. So. I think it's important that they try to get his image out there. Maybe go to the local news and say, look, get this image out there. And do the genealogy. Go to one of the places that does the genealogy. They should be able to get DNA from him. Should have been able to get DNA from him in 2003 when he was found. So hopefully they'll work on that. It's only one case. I'm sure the Worcester County Sheriff's Department would pay for that. So let's hope so. So that is that. Oh, I want to show you his picture, which will be the thumbnail. This is actually my poster that I made. Ooh, there we go. There he is. So yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you Wednesday. Please consider subscribing and hyping the video. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you.